Every one of my clients, I recommend that they have one, and if you don't, you need to get one. Basically, it's not a question of if, but when, and a lot of people have heard that before, and I'll just say it again. We're moving everything to a digital platform. We're not keeping up with all our different assets that are out there, and you will experience a data incident. So now, what do you do? What happens? It's kind of like to break the glass. Here's the plan that we're going to be using and the steps that we're going to follow. Therefore, it's a work program that everyone's on the same sheet of music. A lot of times what I like to do with clients is called a tabletop exercise. We'll bring in 4 different scenarios and put them face down on the table. The client will pick one, turn it over. Here's the drill. Here's what we're going to do. For example, your CEO just lost his laptop. And that's the one that you flipped over. Now what happens? Was the laptop encrypted? Do we know if it's encrypted? How often does he back it up? What type of information does he receive? How do we unpack all that data that he has on that? Is he on the data diet? The data diet being, does he clean up his laptop every year or not? Or does he have years of information that's sitting on there? So you go down this list, and then you start getting all the talking points, and you bring in all the different third parties. Do we need a PR firm for this one? Do we need a forensics company to do this? Do we need a law firm for this? I always advise you bring in the lawyers first to keep it under privilege. You just don't know what you're going to find or where it's going to lead. Just because it was a lost laptop, it could turn into something else that you're kind of like, well, we thought it was this, but now it's something else. So you never know what you're going to find. And always prepare, prepare, prepare. And that's what the incident plan lets you do. Now that everyone's on the same sheet of music, every 6 months you kind of roll it out, you do it again, and then when the event happens, you're ready. I can tell you that you need to work with them hand in hand. That's where the data's at these days. And having that relationship with them, you can kind of understand what pains that they're feeling and how fast you can get data turned around. For example, let's say you're an international company and you just had a whistleblower complaint that said, hey, you've got some operations over in XX country. Think something's going on. Well, the first call that I would make would be to the legal counsel. The second call I would make would be to the IT guys going, what kind of data do we have? And how is this information stored? Is it on our corporate networks, or are they a satellite, and is it stored there? How often do we service it? How fast can we get our hands on it? And then you talk about the media that you want it in. A lot of ACFE professionals are very good using Excel and Access. But when you start getting to other different things like SQL and Oracle and all this other IT language that people are kind of like, well, I don't know, that's where the IT person becomes your friend. You can say, I know the data is within SQL or this proprietary database. Can you turn it into a CSV file for me so I can download it to something I can use? And then what type of data is out there? We call it a data dictionary. The dictionary within the database will have all the different fields that you're looking at. And you can tell your IT person, okay, I want this field, this field, this field for this time frame. Dump it into a CSV file for me. Then you kind of do your control checks to make sure you have the data that you need, and then you run your analysis. They're your best friend, and you need to talk to them on a daily basis. From a security perspective, a lot of people are using passwords, and we're trying to move away from passwords. Biometrics adds another layer of complexity in order to get in. A lot of data security labs that I've worked at or have gone into have biometric controls. They'll have an iris scan, or they'll put a fingerprint that's on there. Some laptops actually now have a fingerprint scan, so you put that on there. Again, it's a different security measure that's there. Do we need to be going to that? There's positives and negatives to it, and I think it's all going to shake out. Do I think passwords need to go away? Yes. What will take over the password? I don't know. According to Symantec, malware is created every second. Kind of scary, isn't it? All different flavors of stuff that's out there that's very bad. And they're coming up with new things every day, new vulnerabilities that are out there, and IT is under constant attack. We got to put this patch in. We need to do this. We've got to do this. And they got a laundry list of stuff to get done. Can they get it all done in the time frame that's needed before an attack happens? We're always responding as opposed to being proactive. In a lot of our companies, you'll hear, we've stopped X amount of threats, and that's good. But it's the ones that get in are the ones that are problematic, and those are the ones that the CEO and everyone else is going to be sitting there going, well, how did this one happen? Doesn't matter you stop 99 of them, it's the one that got in that's going to be problematic. And it's because they changed something. A lot of antivirus that's out there, they have different rules and configurations to where they kind of look for a particular hashtag or fuzzy logic within a, let's just say, a nasty piece of malware. Well, once that's public, the people that have created the malware will go in and change a few things to try to avert how you're going to catch it. You always have to be constantly on guard. And it's getting scary out there, and the criminals are getting good. And they're getting to the point where, we just talked about that ADP email. It looks good. It looks like it's legitimate, but it's not. That gets back to our education with our folks.